On the 4th of July, the most powerful earthquake in 20 years was recorded in Southern California.
Wow, that's a shitty way to...
A day later, an earthquake 7 times more powerful yesterday was recorded.
Where?
In Southern California. Now, all throughout the Pacific tectonic plate, affectionately referred to as the Ring of Fire because it's circumvented by a large number of volcanoes, has shown increased activity, as have a number of geysers at Yellowstone.
We're all gonna die.
This may be our last vlog.
But it's okay, because there will be none of you left to watch it.
But there'll be none of them left to tune in on Twitch, because we're live right now at Twitch. We're live right now at twitch.tv/makingitup.
This week, we made stuff. I worked a lot on the Warhammer 40K chest and back piece. They are the last vestige of ABS that we have in the shop that we're going to use for projects. And they're a great example of why that is, because they are both severely fucked up in certain ways. So I had to do a lot of reshaping and building and almost sculpting with different materials on them to get them good the way we need them to be. There were problems all over the place, honestly. The back had one panel that was made out of 4 pieces essentially, and one of the panels, because of lifting and everything, was just higher than all the other ones because that's how it was when it all got glued together.
Some of that was my fault. When I was making the 3D model, I could have put in better registration, which would have helped alignment. It's not going to help printing problems or lifting or whatever, but it would have helped with the alignment.
Yeah, that's most of what I did this week. You?
Well, I worked on more Doom Guy stuff, and that's pretty done. Everything except the chest is ready to be molded. Now, I didn't have any printing problems with the parts, but like Ellie was describing, having to fix all these problems on the Warhammer armor. And the thing about that armor is that when you glance at it and even examine it, it looks fine. But as you start to get up to it with the fine-tooth comb, you start noticing problems. And I'm trying to not do that with every single thing. So the Doom Guy stuff is not perfect. There's no visible print lines, and in my mind, that's the ultimate thing to solve. But it's not 100% perfect. But it'll look fine when we paint it and weather it, which is why I'm trying to let go of the perfectionism somewhat. Which is why I say that I've gotten them ready to mold, not because they're perfect, but because they're fine in their current state.
If you look really closely at the shins, you can see they're not print lines, but it's not perfectly smooth all the way around. You can see they're not really polygons, but they're straight lines of where it looks like it was several straight lines that were put together in kind of a polygon format to create a curve.
Sure.
And you could have spent a lot in time getting that perfectly smooth. But yeah, when these things are all going to be weathered, plus they're all painted a dark color anyways, and none of them are particularly shiny. So little issues like that are only going to be visible if you're like holding the armor up to your face and really nailing down on it.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if I'm trying to make a high gloss thing, but I'm not. Neither of these two costumes are going to be that way. So I'm fine with not even compromising, just, more using my time more wisely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did the Doom Guy stuff is pretty much ready to mold. I am hoping, I forgot that we were doing stuff for the 4th of July, so I was hoping to have the molding process started by the time we shot this video, but didn't. But that will almost certainly be in the next vlog video, obviously because Quakecon.
The one unfortunate thing that happened with the shotgun
Oh, yeah, I was doing I'm getting ready to paint the super shotgun, and it came loose of its mounting where it was hanging to dry and fell 6 feet and broke off a part of it. So I have to reprint part of the stock, which thankfully is like the least complex part of the entire weapon from a geometry standpoint. So it won't take long for me to get back to that point. That's just a frustrating setback.
Yeah. I also worked on my table saw, her table saw, actually. Anyways, I worked on the table saw. I figured out what the problem was. I assumed that since sparks shot out of the switch, that the switch was the problem. What actually happened is, I don't know how it happened, but something's wrong with the cables. I got a new switch, I installed it correctly, I tried to turn the table saw on, it wouldn't work. I started to worry that I fried the actual motor, but I plugged the motor directly in with a different cable, and it works. So I had to go to a completely different set of cables to run through the switch. And they're not the proper gauge to run the table saw under load, but they are. I was able to prove that the switch is not the problem. So now I've got more stuff to buy before the table saw is up and running. But I don't foresee there being an issue anymore. I'm pretty sure I've gotten it all figured out. So as soon as I can get to a Home Depot and get the last of the parts, we'll have the table saw up and running. And I'll be able to start making things like the crosscut sled, which I mentioned in the last vlog.
But yeah, with the 4th of July holiday, and then what happened the week before that? We never figured that out. Did anything happen, or was it just kind of a slow work week?
Yeah, nothing exciting happened. I worked a lot on, again, rebuilding or sculpting the 40K armor. I spent a long time doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was real bad. In hindsight, I should have made it easier on myself and just used Bondo, but I spent a long time on that. That's mainly what I did last week.
Yeah, I had to print out several scale tests and reprint a couple of Doom Guy parts, because the Red Human is not in the game model, Doom Guy is not shaped like a human, and so making the armor fit an actual living person and then making it scaled to fit the Red Human was a lot of trial and error. Parts that in the computer that in the model should have fit were still too big, so it was trial and error. So one part I wound up 3D printing 3 different times till I found the right one.
And there were several parts that you printed like that. There's the collar, there was the arm piece. Yeah, the upper shoulder is technically too big, but costume armor looks good with big shoulders, and it'll make her look bulkier. So I'm keeping the large upper shoulder, and then the bicep armor is going to be actually fitting her. I probably could or should make the leg armor bigger. I'm not gonna, just because of time. And it'll look fine anyway. Is this gonna be Doom Guy or is this gonna be Doom Girl?
Doom Guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we've talked about it, right? Doom Guy, not feminine Doom Guy, not Doom Girl, just Doom Guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna make like foam Popeye arms?
No.
Because Doom Guy has some serious, like he's got some big old.
His bicep is like as big as my thigh.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's cartoonish, which is why it's not like a human shape. His legs are super short and stubby. Mm-hmm. He's like all torso.
Which is funny because he runs throughout the entire game. He has one speed. Yeah. And it's full-on sprint.
Yeah. It's something like 37 miles an hour in the original game.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's unbelievably fast. Yeah.
He's like the roadrunner of video games.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, Doom Guy is making a lot of progress. Most of it is ready to go under, I don't know if I'm gonna do silicone or hard molds. I'm gonna think about it. Some of it's so fucking simple that I don't need to do silicone. We'll see. The Warhammer armor, definitely coming along. I mean, I think that, I know we said this in the last video, but that should be done soon.
Yes.
When I said that last time, there wound up being a lot more problems than I realized at the time. And not just being a perfectionist problem, the actual problems with the sculpt.
Yeah.
Which we'll wind up fixing.
All right. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I really don't think a lot has happened. A lot more. I don't think a lot more has happened in the shop since the last update. We can talk about. I'd say we could talk about the things that are coming up, but it's nothing they haven't heard. Starship Trooper stuff, obviously. The person who is doing the helmet that's in the mail. I actually thought I would have it by today. I'm hoping next week that I'll have that. So if you want to tune into our stream at twitch.tv/makingitup, we're live right now, and I'm showing off the helmet. So that'll come in. I'm getting the Merida mold soon. Thorson's already making the grenades, so we'll need to do our grenades. Yeah, so it's Starship Trooper stuff for sure. You'll definitely be seeing molding of Doom Guy and the 40K stuff, which would be neat. We haven't molded in quite a while. I mean, I've done some Quake Champions rocket launcher stuff. Once 40K and Doom Guy are kind of off the table, I'm going to be going back around to finishing up the rocket launcher, which at this point is a lot of mold prep. Most of everything of the rocket launcher has been finished and needs to be molded, but because of life things, I had to take a extended break and didn't get a chance to do that sooner. And then pretty soon we'll be talking about Dragoncon. Start figuring out exactly what all we're bringing there.
I mean, we better start talking about it pretty fucking soon. It's in like 6 weeks or something.
2 months. It's like 52 days.
That ain't much.
It's enough time to do Mysterio.
Yeah, no spoilers though.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I finally figured out where you got that from.
Yeah?
Yeah. The original Aladdin. I was like, what the fuck? You've always done it. And I'm like, that's not funny. What is he doing? And then it was on. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
I've done that since the original Aladdin. It's real funny. What's his name was real funny.
Rob Williams.
Yeah. Cool. That is all. Have you heard of Twitch Prime?